Good evening, Tinners, and welcome to episode 2 of the podcast. Tonight, I name an unchanged lineup with Harry and Aaron joining me. Lads, good to see you again. Let's launch straight into it. Another loss, so we're 0-5, as the Americans would say, but an encouraging display.
Yeah, much better going forward overall. I thought we looked a lot more dangerous. Having said that, the defending for the first goal Borehamwood scored was like a bit of a shambles. I don't want to dwell on that too much, but yeah, we're at sixes and sevens defending that first goal, but massive plus side was getting a goal from a set piece. We're going to be defending so many games this year. We need to be strong or like have something that we can a way of nicking a goal from a set piece to try and nick a game. That could be a good way to accumulate points going forward. So it's good to see scoring from a set piece, and who better to do it than Will Dean, like for the effort and commitment he's put in this season so far. Like really happy for him to get us off and running. And hopefully that will give the whole team a lot more confidence going into Boston on Saturday. But yeah, ultimately really disappointing to lose it at the end. The goal looked offside, if I'm honest. And the guy that first poked it towards Lavacum didn't even celebrate because I think he was actually waiting for the flag to come up. It was a bit dubious. Like I think the players were actually surprised that the flag didn't go up. So yeah, really harsh way to lose it, but it's football. We drew and won a lot of games like that last year. But yeah, let's not like dwell on the negatives because yeah, we got to think forward and to the future and to Saturday where I think we have a real chance of getting a result.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, that was my essentially similar feelings really. Although it's another loss, which is obviously not what we want. Very disappointed, but we played so much better overall. It was like it's the first time where it's been like actually we really didn't deserve to lose that at all. We actually deserved to win. I feel like we didn't deserve this result. Like, all of the previous results have felt justified, even though it was like yeah, we performed okay, but overall we weren't better than them. We deserved to lose, but it didn't really feel like that with this result because you had that Pike hit the post, you had Harvey with that keeper pulled off the amazing save. It was like we definitely and to concede in the 93rd minute. That's just football, isn't it? But like overall, we definitely deserved to take the 3 points from that one, and it's a shame that we didn't. But it's given me big confidence for the Boston game. I genuinely believe that we're going to win that. And we need to, I think, now, like just because of the result. We need those 3 points because you look at the rest of the teams that are in the sort of bottom 6, 7. We need those 3 points or they're all going to start pulling away from us, really. So that's kind of my feeling after the game is like it's given me a bit of hope. We obviously got our first goal, should give the team a lot more confidence. We deserve to win it. Unlucky, very unlucky to lose. And as long as we get the 3 points against Boston, I think, and kick on from there, possibly the current results can be forgiven.
I think Raquel Pike actually looked good in that game. That was the first time I've really seen him get on the ball a bit more and carry the ball and carry more of a threat. Like a good positive performance from him, I think. Yeah, so yeah, there's a few shining lights to take out of the game for sure.
I mean,
And
he's got to be
also,
good, right? If you can't get a game for Grimsby, who are currently 2-0 up against Man United, so plenty more to come from Liverpool.
Yeah,
Um,
not far off
but
then.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting what you said about the offside goal. It's quite rare for one of our staff to come out and question a decision as publicly as Yets did. So it just feels to me that a few bits of rubs of the green aren't quite with us at the moment. There are questions about the Southend goal the other day. Obviously, was there a handling incident that denied us a goal
definitely,
at the
I
weekend, and
saw
then the
it.
offside goal? So it's just it swings and roundabouts, and at some point, law of averages have got to go in our favour, don't they? But you mentioned him, Harry. Just wanted to say a quick word for Will Dean. What a legend! a warrior. Legend is overused, but he really is getting into that territory now. Not just because of the amount of appearances that Dean0 has accrued over his Truro career, but he's got the moments. He's got he's now got a couple of the medals that we wanted to see. A few words for Will Dean, if you've got time, please.
Yeah, he's one of our own, mate. He's one of the team captains. He's born and bred Truro. Couldn't really ask for more commitment and enthusiasm from a player. He's essentially a centre mid that's been asked to play centre back, or the way I see him is more of a quarterback with his passing and like long diag ability. His ball from set pieces, free kicks, and that header for the goal on Monday, unreal header, like lovely deft flick across the box into the bottom corner. Really, really good footballer, still young. Really, really happy it was him. Deserved it, and it's great that someone like that, who's such an essential part of the team, such a core leader, is the one to get off the mark and like show the others that we can score, we can compete in this league, and hopefully that will give the whole team a big boost.
Yeah, so I can't actually comment too much on the sort of history side of things. I only became a fan like fairly recently, towards the end of like last season. But I think the psychological boost that goal will give the whole team can't be understated. Because now we have that goal. It's like, yes, we can score goals. We are here now, and had we gone into the fifth, sixth, seventh game still with 0 goals, I feel like that's going to give everybody a massive psychological boost. Just because it's obviously it's still 0 points, but it's got us off the mark, and I really do see the goals coming on Saturday. So yeah, really looking forward to that. And I think the mental boost that goal is going to give our team, it can't be understated.
We mentioned already that potentially there's a bit of a gap developing, but if we look at the table very quickly, and I'm sure our very well paid editor put the table up in the corner of the screen for everybody, but we are a large goal swing away, 3 points from being back out safely, but it does feel like a must win, or certainly a must not lose game at the weekend. If we look at the bottom of the table, are we surprised? Are we surprised that of anyone that's down there? Who are we targeting to finish above? Who do we think that we can compete with over the course of the season?
I don't think the points gap is anything to be really concerned with at this point in the season. What are we, 4 or 5 games in, and it's the first month. Like teams can go a whole month in a season without accumulating any points, or maybe 1 or 2 points, and they'll still like finish with quite a healthy points total at the end of the season. The fact that it is at the start of the season raises your eyebrows and maybe causes a bit of concern, especially as a newly promoted team. But I genuinely can't see it staying like this. I do think with the team spirit that we have and the effort that we're showing against these teams, Southend, we were in that game. We only lost 1-0. Like, we were in that game. It's hard to take, because at the end of the day, it is just another L. Likewise with York, we were in that game for 80 minutes and just ended up losing 2-0. These are top teams. And like, if we keep performing like that, we will get results. The attacking display against Borehamwood was way better. As it stands, Woking obviously looking vulnerable. Only 1 point so far. They conceded more goals than us, but scored more goals than us. But have had a similar sort of start to us as well. Their only point coming against York, annoyingly. Sutton, surprisingly, are right down there. And they're winless at the minute. Solihull winless. Yeovil just sacked their manager, so they'll be hoping for a bit of a change in fortune off the back of a bit of a new manager bounce, as they say. But I've heard there's a few issues at Yeovil, so yeah, it's really, really hard to tell at this point in the season. But I think Woking and Yeovil, having been teams recently in the National League South, they'll probably be obvious contenders for the drop. I think teams like Boston, Tamworth, I would have said Wealdstone before, but they've looked pretty tasty so far. So yeah, I think it's really hard to tell, but I would be more inclined to try and think about our own fortunes rather than banking on the misfortunes of other teams, because we've got a lot to improve.
I'm glad you said that. I really am, because I think if the fixture list had been the other way around, so essentially we played York and Southend away and the other three teams at home, if we were on no points out of those fixtures, I'd be a lot more concerned. But we've been in both of our home games. We were certainly in the away game at Borehamwood. We've already sort of talked and tried to have therapy on the Tamworth game, but an O is an O, but it's not as bad as it seems. Are you feeling relatively still positive, Aaron?
Yeah, I think so. I think so, just about, because like you say, like the losses against York and Southend, like yeah, they're losses, and essentially we got the same out of those games as we did the Tamworth game. But you just can't look at them in the same light, because the performances were night and day compared to each other. So there are signs that we can compete, and it is fair to say as well, both our home games have been against York and Southend, two top sides in this league. But I don't think it's slipped away from us yet. I mean, I'm looking at the table now. You can see sort of like from sort of 16th all the way downwards. There's only sort of 6 points. Well, there's from 11th to bottom. There's only 6 points in that whole gap. So yeah, it's definitely not away from us yet. Morecambe are a tough one to kind of know what to look at with them, because obviously they've only played 2 games. But yeah, it's certainly not away from us, especially if we get 3 points at Boston, and then and then another few wins next month hopefully should get us up to where we want to be. All we're trying to do is to survive the drop. So at the minute, I'm still positive. I'm not down in the dumps yet. But if we go another, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 games without a win, then it's going to start getting a bit miserable. I do note though that we're playing Aldershot next Wednesday, and they've scored 15 goals, and they've conceded 10. So that's going to be hopefully a high scoring, interesting one. But yeah, no, I'm not depressed about anything yet. Going to give it another month or so before I start really letting emotions set in. But obviously, nobody's happy with the start that we've made.
So, I mean, Boston the weekend is an interesting one, I think, because currently sitting mid-table-ish, 1-2, lost 2, so perfect 50% record. Had a season for 2 halves last season. I think they struggled for probably 2/3 of the season, then went on an incredible run to stay up. So, are we all relatively in agreement this is the first home game that we're looking at where we feel that we've got a better than 50% chance of coming away with something?
Well, I think what you've just said there is something we need to take a bit of hope from. Like Boston United, as you said, they got promoted season before last, probably in a similar expectancy to Truro in terms of everyone was expecting them to go down. And for much of the season, they did look like they were going to go down, without much of a whimper. And then they turned it on towards the end of the season, got on that winning streak, and ended the season really positively. So we could look at that model as a sign of, it's not all doom and gloom. It is only August. Yeah, we might take a little while to get going, but look at Boston last season, we can do it. So on Boston, they beat Wealdstone Monday 2-1. Obviously a team that we lost to on the first game of the season, but having said that, I feel like if we played Wealdstone now, I definitely feel like we could get a result. That game, our midfield was completely outrun, and we've looked a lot more solid in the midfield in the last couple of weeks. And I feel like we are improving on each individual aspect of the last game's performance, if that makes sense. So we've improved on set pieces, our attacking's improved, our defending's improved. So yeah, so going in against Boston, like previous to that game, they lost to Eastleigh and Halifax. It's a long way for them to come. I don't think they're going to bring as many fans as like York and Southend either, so they won't have that sort of almost home support coming down. I mean, I might be wrong, but I don't know. I don't think Boston has as much of a following as those two teams, having been like more recently in the EFL. Whereas Boston, I think, have been in the EFL, but maybe a long, long time ago. Yeah, I'm definitely with Aaron. I feel like I do feel like we can get a result. I'm feeling quietly confident, and off the back of Monday's performance, we look a lot more sharp going forward. So it's definitely there's a lot of positives to take from that. On Boston, the guy that I'm looking forward to seeing is their striker, nicknamed the Shop, Lionel John Lewis. He's like a legendary National League striker. Scored quite a few goals for York last season and the season before. Yeah, big, strong target man. Will bring a lot of experience to the game, so he's one to look out for. We don't have the biggest centre halves, so he'll definitely prove a handful.
So if I have to push you for a prediction, then where are you going? Give us a
Me,
score. Yeah.
yeah, I'm going to say 2-0. I'm going to say 2-0. I'm going to say it's going to be an own goal, comes off someone's ass, and then we'll get a penalty or something. 2-0, scrappy 2-0. I'll take anything, mate. 1-0, own goal, penalty.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
just give me 3 points.
Yeah, no, I feel the same. I'll take anything. I'll take a 91st minute penalty. I don't care as long as we get the 3 points. But I'm actually feeling very optimistic. I don't know why, but I'm feeling really optimistic. I think we're going to win 3-0 plus, possibly. I think I see this game being the one where we really, because it's our first game at home against a team that we should be, is that we definitely can get a result. Coming off a great performance against Borehamwood, like great performance, not a great result, but a great performance. We definitely could have scored 2, 3, 4 plus in that game. So yeah, for some reason, I'm really optimistic. I feel like we're going to absolutely smash them. To be honest, I just see it coming, and hopefully, when we come back next week, I can be sipping a tea, vindicated.
So you've heard it here first then, Tinners. We're all predicting a win. I'm going to go for Harvey hat-trick in a 3-2 thriller. So thank you very much for joining us for this evening's podcast. We look forward to seeing you hopefully about this time next week, hopefully with our predictions coming true. And hopefully we should have a couple of additional guests as well. So I look forward to speaking to you then. Have a great evening and enjoy your football on Saturday. Good night.